The things I want to know are in books. My best friend is the man who'll get me a book I ain't read. No man has good enough memory to be a successful liar. Whatever you are, be a good one. The best way to destroy an enemy is to make him a friend. Am I not destroying my enemies when I make friends of them? The time comes upon every public man when it is best for him to keep his lips closed. All my life, I have tried to pluck a thistle and plant a flower wherever the flower would grow in thought and mind. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion. When I am getting ready to reason with a man, I spend 1/3 of my time thinking about myself and what I'm going to say, and 2/3 about him and what he is going to say. You can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. The ballot is stronger than the bullet. Someday, I shall be president. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. I never had a policy. I have just tried to do my very best each and every day. Republicans are for both the man and the dollar, but in case of conflict, the man before the dollar. Common-looking people are the best in the world. That is the reason the Lord makes so many of them. Let not him who is houseless pull down the house of another, but let him work diligently and build one for himself, thus by example assuring that his own shall be safe from violence when built. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. That some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. If you call a tail a leg, how many legs has a dog? 5? No. Calling a tail a leg, don't make it a leg. Most folks are happy as they make up their minds to be. There is nothing true anywhere. The true is nowhere to be seen. If you say you see the true, this seeing is not the true one. My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. Marriage is neither heaven nor hell. It is simply purgatory. Surely God would not have created such a being as man, with an ability to grasp the infinite, to exist only for a day. No, no man was made for immortality. All that I am, or hope to be, I owe to my angel mother. You cannot build character and courage by taking away a man's initiative and independence. You have to do your own growing, no matter how tall your grandfather was. If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. I'm a slow walker, but I never walk back. I will prepare, and someday my chance will come. Character is like a tree, and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. Everyone desires to live long, but no one would be old. Don't worry when you are not recognized, but strive to be worthy of recognition. Human action can be modified to some extent, but human nature cannot be changed. You can tell the greatness of a man by what makes him angry. I am rather inclined to silence, and whether that be wise or not, it is the least more unusual nowadays to find a man who can hold his tongue than to find one who cannot. I don't like that man. I must get to know him better. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Leave nothing for tomorrow which can be done today. If I am killed, I can die but once, but to live in constant dread of it is to die over and over again. I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live by the light that I have. I must stand with anybody that stands right, and stand with him while he is right, and part with him when he goes wrong. Human nature will not change in any future great national trial. Compared with the men of this, we shall have as weak and as strong, as silly and as wise, as bad and as good. What is to be, will be, and no prayer of ours can arrest the decree. I claim to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me. This is a world of compensations, and he who would be no slave must consent to have no slave. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves, and under a just God cannot long retain it. You think slavery is right and should be extended, while we think slavery is wrong and ought to be restricted. That I oppose is the rub. It certainly is the only substantial difference between us. The one victory we can ever call complete will be that one which proclaims that there is not one slave or one drunkard on the face of God's green earth. Public sentiment is everything. With public sentiment, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. I cannot make it better known that it already is that I strongly favor colonization. Elections belong to the people. It is their decision if they decide to turn back on the fire and burn their behinds. Then they will just have to sit on their blisters. If we have no friends, we have no pleasure, and if we have them, we are sure to lose them, and be doubtedly pained by the loss.